You will forever be in our hearts. May your next adventure with Thakur be joyful and fulfilling. The next one is from Riju Dada. Dear Ayush, it still hasn't set in for me. I refuse to believe you're gone. I just want this to be a twisted, dark prank of yours where you say gotcha, and then you laugh, that trademark laugh of yours. We all know about your adventurous side, but everyone should know about how incredibly kind and giving you are. Part of that is due to the incredible job your mother, father, and Isha did in raising you. But I also think it is who you are on the inside. You greet everyone with these massive hugs, which were always just a bit too tight for me. Too tight for Ma, even though we all know she secretly loved them. And you have that infectious and mischievous grin since childhood that we all came to adore. We have had so many memories, from riding roller coasters in the front row to taking surfing lessons together. But here's two that stick out to me the most about who you are as a person. The first one, when you and Dadu Bhai visited us in 2011, Ma needed a heavy cabinet to be moved upstairs. This was not an easy task, and we probably should have hired professionals. But without a moment's hesitation, you said, "We can do it." And with you pushing and me pulling, somehow or another, we got it upstairs where Ma wanted it. When your dad found out, he gave Ma an earful for asking us to do it. ওদের লেগে গেলে কি হতো? সেটা তো ভাবিসনি. In English translation, what would have happened if they would have gotten hurt? You didn't think of that, did you? So the second one was that same visit. Hurricane Irene was coming to New Jersey. And in order to prevent flooding, Baba had us digging ditches in the yard. Well, we were apparently digging a bit too deep, and Baba started yelling at both of us for doing it wrong. I got mad at him for yelling at you, but you pulled me aside and said, "You can't do that. He's an elder. We have to respect him." Even at that age, you just were that much wiser, beyond your years, and took it in stride. You coming to my wedding was extra special because of our time spent together in 2011. I was so appreciative the day of the wedding that you came through after only a couple of hours of sleep to help my dad and Rick to get me prepared for the wedding, as you promised the night before. Always there, always dependable. If I can end on one note, it's this. The Ayush I know would not want us to hold our heads down forever. He would want us to smile and remember him fondly. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to cry. But he would not want us to stop living. His spirit is within us now, and we should use it as strength. This man has lived more in his 25 years than most of it lived in their lifetimes. Remember that wonderful smile on his face and his attitude of enjoying life till the last drop. We have our memories of him. As long as we cherish those, he will live forever in our hearts and minds. I love you, brother. The next one is from Hiral Pabi. Ayush, it was wonderful getting to know you for the brief time that I did. Thank you so much for all the help you provided during the wedding. It was great getting to know you afterwards and talking about our shared love of music, sending condolences, and praying for strength to all. Next one is from Koel. Hey, idiot. So you're finally free, and I'm stuck here, remembering you and your shenanigans. When I heard the news of your latest, I was in the same street that I had excitedly run towards. On your first return from Canada to an Indian summer, they had told me you had grown up, become a well-behaved student. All I saw was the same goofy kid with an accent. It wasn't long till I reached the room where that kid was staring at me from the walls. And all I could do was stare back in tears, still denying that you had been successful in weaving yet another story with an unpredictable ending, marking your legendary status. Once a storm, always a storm. I went in the other room, the place you had lifted up every kid lighter than you on your legs, and told them to pretend they were flying. Finally, when an adult came, hearing their squeals of joy, you challenged them that you could lift them up too. I confess, I laughed in the background while they boxed your ears. As I stood at the balcony, I remember your first flying experience, inspired by Spider-Man, or whoever was your superhero of the moment, jumping from one roof to another, till a passerby almost fainted at sight. You're always a terror for the weak-hearted. Always. Your memories didn't leave me as I entered the washroom to scream Once you would stand outside quietly, making spooky noises, trying to make me scream. You were finally successful, you fool. Love from another idiot. Rick, I didn't think of Ayush like a cousin. Instead, I thought of him like a brother. When I heard about his passing, I thought, why him now? Because he was my age. I thought I was having a bad dream and didn't think this was real. I would like to share a few memories about him, though. Ayush was a great person to be around. He was very adventurous and was funny, too. He never had any fear, and he told me to always face my fear. He always inspired me. He would also say, never argue with your elders, no matter what they say to me, which showed me how mature he was. He was a great person, and we had some great times together. Whenever I saw him in India, we did fun things together, like watching movies together or going to the mall. We also watched movies when he came here. He told me about 2 good TV shows. One was Rick and Morty, and another one was a Japanese TV show called One Punch Man. And through his recommendation, I started watching those shows. I still think I'm seeing him in front of me, as his passing was unexpected. I will cherish the good memories from what I remember about him. This is a tragic loss, and I know it's not in our hands when someone will leave this world. That's why, if there's one place where I can keep Ayush, that will be in my heart. He will lie in everyone's heart. The next one is from Dodo. I'm still finding it hard to come to terms with what's happened. I'm not sure I ever will. While we didn't see each other very often, I have vivid memories of every time we did, because they were some of the best times in my life. All thanks to you. Each visit felt like we would only just met yesterday, and we would pick up from where we last left off without any hitches. Growing up, you were the one of the people I looked up to the most. You were the perfect role model for a kid like me. All the advice you have given me have stuck with me and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. So here's to you, big bro. I never got the chance to say this to you, but I know you're still out there listening. So thanks for making me who I am today, and for all the good times together. I don't know if you're in a better place now, But I do know wherever you are, you'll make it better. So true. And I will join you there someday, and we will reminisce about the old days like we used to. And it will be legendary, just like you were. I love you always. Your champ. The last one from Rohan. You are the best. You always will be. No one laughed for me as much as you did. You're in a better place now, and I will meet you there someday. I texted you this a little after you left us broken here. The text on my phone showed it was delivered to you. But what does a stupid app know where our hearts connect? No matter which cloud you have settled on or which star you have claimed to your name, I know you have heard me. My whispers dipped in silence. You have heard them from my heart. You have heard them from my soul. With every moment that passes, I'm drowned deeper in your thought. But in every one of them, I see you smile. That is all I see, and that is all there is. A smiling man in a content world of himself. You are the flesh and the blood. We're all in pursuit of, and perhaps you have attained for yourself the ticket with this life to meet your giver, your almighty creator. I've not imagined you in your sleep yet, so today I will not cry. But promise me, this big brother, when I do cry, you'll come to hug me. You'll embrace me in those monstrous arms for a moment. I know you will. I know you will. Ride along the skies. Rest in speed, brother. That's all. Thank you.
So, friends and well-wishers would like to do something. I will call the first Celeste and Aaron here. Aaron, yeah.
Hello, everyone. One second, sorry. The first time I truly met him, it was just after midnight, and I just closed up shop for the night. I had already been awake for 20 hours and still had to make the trek home with the groceries I had bought earlier that day. Dave, not even knowing my first name yet, jumped in and asked if I wanted him to take them home for me so I didn't have to carry them. He insisted over and over, and even though he never got a yes from me, I knew in my heart that that is the kind of man I wanted to be with. That didn't happen all too long ago, but in the time between now and then, he showed me the kind of man he was. A smart, positive, lovable man who loved life and wasn't afraid to show it, whether it was through his huge smile or loud laugh that lit up the room, or his kind gestures when we were alone. Every moment I was with him left me admiring him more, which very quickly turned into a love for him that I've never felt for anybody else in my life. He taught me so much about myself, and in turn I have become a better person for it. I'm going to miss you, Dave, with all my heart. But please, rest easy knowing you didn't leave this world unloved, and you will never be forgotten by anybody that you have touched in your life. Thank you.
Dave was my oldest friend and one of my closest ones. We'd known each other for more than 10 years. I remember him coming up to me at the bus stop before school and introducing himself to me, and I didn't have a lot of friends at the time, so it meant a lot. And from the moment he told me his name, I knew I liked him and that we were going to be good friends. He was shy and quiet himself at the time, but I watched him grow into a strong, confident man. We've done so much together, playing outside of my yard after school, going on bike rides, going on drives with him in his car out of the city, just looking at stars. He was one of the most kind, compassionate, and driven people I have ever known, and was with me through some of the hardest parts of my life. He always helped people without any hesitation and never asked for anything in return. And that was just who he was. He was always ready to help anybody with anything. It didn't even matter if he was a stranger to you. He was there if he could help. He loved watching people grow, and he loved to grow with the people around him. He had such a passion to learn and hunger for knowledge that never stopped. And I think that's one of the things I'm going to miss the most. There were so many things that he wanted to learn and see and do. We had plans to do so many things, and travel and cook food and go camping, but he was always smiling. He always was looking forward. And now that he's gone, the best thing we can do is try to live our lives the way that he wanted, that he would want us to try and grow and love each other and live with our hearts always open to give to people who need it. Thank you.
So next is
We're here. We're your brothers.
You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
Okay. Yeah, I got this.
Trigger warning, I'm gonna cry. So I was given the task of asking all my cousins to write all the nice things that they wanted to. And then in the process, I just read them all and got super overwhelmed. And I have no idea what to say. Like, absolutely none. Okay. So, he's 2 years younger than me, almost. And so when I was little, he was my plaything, he was my toy. He didn't enjoy it, but that's okay. I was kind of a shit, and I used to he had lots of cars and stuff, and I used to take one away and hide it somewhere, and then he would go crazy. And then he'd get yelled at, and then I'd be like, here it is. And then I was fine because I was the good kid. I never did anything. But I've always been envious about how adventurous he's always been, ever since he was a child. Because now when we go back to India it's always just like, remember when you did this, and remember when you did this, and this, and this, and this, and then I didn't do anything. I just sat there and I probably read a book or something. And I was never but I was always the good kid. So it was never, but it always, as an adult, it always made me feel like I was so boring. But it probably made my mom's life easier, so that's nice. He's my younger brother, but as we've grown up together, because I'm so short, he just grew taller and taller than me, but that's not hard, everyone's taller than me. When he grew taller and taller, everybody around us was like, that's your older brother. And then they talked to me and they were like, oh no, no he's not. But you basically wanted and claimed and were like, I should have come first. And you probably should have, because part of who I am today definitely has to do with you, and I wouldn't be who I am partially if it wasn't for you. There's been many times I have a very short temper, and especially with my mom and dad, very short, and you're always around giving me moral support. Now that's not gonna happen, so it's gonna take time, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. But one of the first things I told the new mama when it happened, and I was super in denial, is that I cry. That's what I do. That's what I'm known for. And you're the one that stands there and helps me and helps everybody else. And how am I supposed to do this? That's not me. I cry. And somehow, I don't know if it's because I don't know if I've felt you around us and everything, and I don't know what it is, but I've been able to just be on autopilot and deal with everything and everybody. And I'm so grateful for the people I have around me that I need. I'm just so grateful, because I couldn't stand here without them. And I've been able to grieve how I need to with them. I don't know, I can't think of any memories. My brain, when I was reading all my cousins' messages and stuff yesterday, my brain was like, what do I say? I don't remember. My brain is a potato. I don't know. But you were my shred of sanity in my house. You helped me. You helped me calm down. You always helped me calm down. You always helped me understand. So in a way, maybe you were meant to be my older brother. But it still is not fair that you had to go first. I can't, I've lost a lot of my faith. And I don't know when it's going to come back. And a lot of people have told me that that's what I have to rely on. But I'm really struggling to do that. I'm just gonna share a funny memory that I have from you. It's not PG, but I'm gonna share it anyway. So the four of us always try to go. So the three of our families and another one before, we always used to do family trips to different places. One of the best trips ever was Nelson. But this one is a different one when we were a little bit older and it was just us and our families weren't all here. So it was just us four. And we went to Radium. And so we were just in the hot springs all day basically. And we had Subway and we brought munchies because we were going to drink a lot. And so me, Keish, and Rishi were inside basically drinking and snacking, and you went outside for some reason, and Keish locked the door, and you had to come inside and go to the bathroom or something. I think you had to throw up or something, and Keish was like, "What's the password?" that was a really good trip. It was just a weekend, but it was really, really funny. And then you ended up throwing up outside the door, but that's fine. Okay. It's okay. I know everyone's been like, you're so reliable, you're so dependable. I haven't felt that in my life, really. But I know that it's because it was a hard time getting a hold of you, so I've always tried to not depend on you because I have enough people that I can depend on. But I know that at the end of the day, if something bad, really bad happened, I know you would be there. So I have to deal with knowing that now you won't, and I don't know how to deal with that, but we'll get there, I'm sure. And you've always told me that the best thing about me is how big my heart is, how the best heart in the world, but a huge part of that heart went with you. And I don't know how long it's going to take to heal, but now you have access to all the 7 billion people in the world, so you can probably send the right one my way. I would very much appreciate it, because I'm done. 2019 was September 19th, 2019 was December 31st for me. It's over, I can't deal with it, I'm done. You also always said that if Mom ever tried to get me married to somebody that I didn't want to, you'd help me run away. So now you have to find someone to help me run away. I don't know. I've managed to talk to everybody, deal with everybody, and a huge part of that is because of my friends, and I'm so very grateful for them. And I do believe, and I'm just very grateful that you didn't suffer at all. It's hard to take it as a blessing, but it is a blessing, because, yeah, I know. It's just what it is. It is what it is. I've always felt that you were too big for this world. You really were. You wanted everything. You wanted to know everything. You wanted to do everything. And now you have access. So I hope you get to do it. I hope you get to do whatever you didn't get to do in this life, wherever you are. And I hope we get to live. I don't know if I can promise that I can be like you, because I probably can't. It was too much work, and it's not worth the effort sometimes. But we're going to try. You've left a huge hole in our lives, but we also have a lot of good times that we can bank on, and that's all we're going to remember. And that's good. I would like to thank everyone for being here, and it's not something you're supposed to say, but I have to say it. It's a me thing. It's been very helpful for my mom and my dad, but I have a humble request for me. I don't need it. I have very specific people that I can open up to and I want to open up to. So I would really like to have some space. And it's not because I'm trying to be rude, I just need my space. And I can't speak for my parents. And I can't speak for my parents, and I don't want to about this, but I will welcome all of your messages and condolences and everything, but I need to be with my friends and the people I choose to be with right now, please. And also, my mom wanted me to tell you that I wore this dress because it's the only gift he's ever gotten me in my life. I'm always the person that everyone banks on. It's like, it's Isha, she's gonna get a gift, she's gonna be like, she's gonna get a card, she's gonna take care of it all. And I usually do, I am that person. And this is the only gift you ever got me, and I literally, like, it didn't say anything on the card, it just said, you'll get your hug later, and it didn't, like, say anything, so I was like, what? Who gave me this? And then, so yeah, like, I had to wear this because it's the only thing I've ever gotten from you. I'm gonna miss your hugs because they are all I needed sometimes. When I lost my mind, like when I could not stop screaming and being angry, and there have been plenty of that time in my life because I'm famous for crying. But a hug was all I needed, and I will really, really, really miss that. But I'm just hoping you're in a better place. I don't know, I'm still in denial a little bit. You've made me cry a lot because you know exactly what buttons to push and when, and what to do to make me cry, and it has happened a lot of times in my life, but I would gladly give all the tears in the world. I would cry them all if I could have you back for another day so I could tell you I love you so much, and I will never stop loving you. I can't stop loving you ever, so. Okay, are you guys gonna talk and say anything? Can you say anything?